Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. Today, I want to have a conversation with you that I know could really help. If you're new to this community, I hope with all of my heart that this conversation will allow you to understand how to be able to start accessing your best life after narcissistic abuse. And if you've been a member for a while, this episode may be a powerful reminder of the truth for you. This is about how to create the life that you were born to live. Maybe a more incredible life than what you ever believed was possible. Okay, so just before we get started, I also want to talk to you about my next upcoming free masterclass. This is my most powerful resource in regard to connecting with you how to live your best life. And it's happening in just a few days' time. So to sign up to this quantum healing event, click the link at the top right of this video. Okay, so let's get started. I want to have a look at how your life really unfolds. It can be difficult to initially realize how powerfully you are creating your own life. Yet, it's a vital understanding if you want to change the life that you're living. Aligning with your best life requires these components: your thoughts to match your desires and your inner being programs to match them as well. Your heart knows what you want. And the feelings in your heart are the part of you which is most closely connected to your soul. At a deep heart-soul level, we all know our highest potential. We know what we want and who we wish to be. In a general sense, for most people, this is healthy and fulfilling love relationships, good health, vitality, and to be aligned with one's purpose. Meaning having a fulfilling vocation that contributes to the world in meaningful ways. Yet many people struggle to achieve such a life. Why is this? When our heart's desires don't come to fruition, it's because our soul truth, thoughts, and subconscious programs aren't aligned. To begin to explain why, I want to share with you the understanding that you are creating your life from your emotional frequency, your feelings, not from what you think. Meaning that what you feel about any topic in your life is what's going to be true for you, rather than what you're trying to think about it. Also, these feelings, which are your already pre-programmed beliefs, on any topic in your life, determine how you interact with the entire field on this topic, which is the people, situations, events in your experience related to it, that topic. If your emotional inner composition is healthy, empowered, and embodied in deservedness on this topic, then so it will be. If your emotional inner composition is unhealthy, disempowered, and struggling with related traumas on this topic, then so it will be. It's very normal to believe that an outside force is the cause of our distress, struggles, and difficulties. Or even that a higher power is not allowing us to have what our heart desires. Yet this is actually not the case. I promise you, this is not about blaming ourselves for not being able to obtain and retain our heart's desires. Rather, this is a deep inner quantum law understanding that frees you to access and amend your inner programs that have been unfolding in your life, often unconsciously, in ways that have not been serving you. By understanding that the generation of your creations are within you, you can take your power back, heal within, and start accessing trajectories of emotions, thoughts, and opportunities that you didn't have access to previously. which is so much easier than trying to change the billions of other people on this planet or the trillions of outer events and situations that are not a part of you to get a different life experience. When I finally understood this and stopped trying to change or negate everything and everyone else and simply turned inwards to do the work inside of me, a whole new universe opened up. And I know it will for you too. Let's have a look at this topic. Your higher power is ready to partner with you. Since becoming a thriver, I know in every cell of my being that my higher power wants for me exactly what my heart wants for me. And it's only my inner composition, my subconscious already programmed beliefs that may be in disagreement with this. I know this to be the case when something feels painful, funky, or confusing for me. This is how you will know when you have conflicting beliefs with your desires. They don't feel clean, easy, or just like a done deal. You may even feel that your desire could never be possible for you. And you might try really hard to think your way beyond this. Yet it can feel unthinkable to think in ways that you don't feel as true for you yet. The reason is because the brain follows the body. It's not the other way around. I want you to think of it like this. Your heart is your true self saying hello to you. Now, knowing this, your real job is to get your inner composition, meaning your subconscious beliefs, onto the same page. Once you do, your aligned emotions and thoughts, which organically flow on from this, will provide you with the inspiration, motivation, and positivity to go after and create your goals. And when your inner composition is aligned with your heart's desires, this is backed by all of your higher power, your superconscious God life force itself, to provide you with all of the opportunities, synchronicities, and even miracles, the people, situations, and events, to work with you to bring your dreams to reality. I want to talk about this topic, this section, being disconnected from your best life. If your body has stored painful traumas by association with any topic in your life, then you're not in emotional agreement with this topic. Let's take, for example, the topic of love. No matter what your head is trying to think, if you've suffered trauma, disappointments, and anguish in relation to love, those are exactly the associations that are formed as belief systems stored in your subconscious programs in regard to this topic. The body wins every time because it's your emotional resonance that creates the reality. That's what stored subconscious programs do. They unfold the validity of the stored belief system to the letter. For happy and healthy realities to physically manifest in your life, your belief systems, which is your associated feelings, and real life application, thoughts and actions must become a direct match. Essentially, the first vital ingredient is that your feelings must be clear, empowered, peaceful, and inspired. If there are existing traumas, especially if they've been painfully impactful, then just trying to think your way into healthier belief systems is usually impossible to do. This is because the logical part of your mind isn't in contact with your emotional and limbic systems, where not only is your childhood programming stored, but also your continued adult trauma experiences, as well as the deeper, less obvious programs of your ancestral belief systems, gender, race, and collective human painful traumas as well. So how do you change your emotional resonance? If you have an understanding of quantum tools and know that you can do healing work directly on your inner identity, you will access a simpler way to connect to your best life rather than gruelingly trying to think your way into it. Trying to formulate remedies for painful inner identity beliefs means not releasing or reprogramming them, which equals remaining hostage to the continued and repeat trauma experiences in your life that are matching what's going on in your inner identity. In relation to the thinking part of trying to change our life, a huge human tendency is to try to learn how to be different to change our beingness. During my Thriver recovery, I understood something incredibly profound. It's this. I already was organically aligned to my best life with all of the resources available within me. And I was also already capable of accessing everything that I required in the field, all of life, to unfold the life of my dreams. I didn't have to learn how to be someone different to get these things. Rather, I needed to unlearn the traumas, false beliefs, and lies I'd absorbed to be free to become my natural beingness. I know that this may sound ridiculous and counterintuitive to everything that you've ever learned. However, when you start going quantum and are prepared to do the work directly on your inner emotional composition, the old struggles and confusions melt away, and a new clarity, power, and ecological wholeness rises up from within. Then you will see how everything that is your life will be touched powerfully and productively. Let's look more deeply at all of this now in the next section, which is, it's the feeling you really want. When I began to heal for real, I was astounded at the irony of the following. I'd been trying to get and do all sorts of things in order to feel okay about certain topics in my life. Yet when I instead started working on the inside, on the feeling first, and got that right, then the doing and the getting followed my new aligned beingness effortlessly. Let me explain. If you were trying to make the getting and the doing negate the feelings of an empty beingness, then you're trying to create your life with mere logical willpower. The cognitive part of our brain has no access to the field, the interconnected higher consciousness of all solution, possibility, and expansion. Logical brains are only processing information at a tiny 40 bits per second. This is in stark contrast to the 40 billion bits per second, which our subconscious programs, our feeling centers are generating, which are activating our inner identity and its connection to the entire field. What part of you do you think is making your life happen? It's the part of you that is not logically conscious. What's going on with you beneath your level of consciousness is what really matters. Many people are dismayed that law of attraction principles don't work for them. The reason they don't is because if you've experienced significant trauma, then your blocked and fearful programs that are blocked up are super glued inside you in place. The more impactful your traumas have been, the greater the power of these painful programs is to stunt you from living your best life. And the more that you try to overcome them with positive thinking, the more the almighty power of these programs will push back and reinstate themselves even harder. This can literally make you feel like you're going crazy. The effective way to address these inner programs is to bypass the thinking mind and go straight into the feeling center of the subconscious programs and release the traumas and painful belief systems there. And then replace them with the truth of who you really are. My Thriver Methods to Heal, which is the NARP program, do this very effectively. Because once released from the trauma energy, you learn how to bring down your higher power, which wants exactly what you want for you, into the space where the trauma once was. This shifts you immediately into a different beingness, the ecological oneness, harmony, and your highest potential on the topic that you're working on. And you certainly don't have to experience it physically for your inner identity to recognize that it just is. After the beingness is anchored inside, another grand irony occurs, which is this: you no longer need this thing you were desiring to happen in your life in order for you to feel whole, at peace, and at one with it. Which takes us to the next topic, which is, if you need it, then it will not come. I found in my own life that until I shifted out the traumas and inner beliefs that were keeping me separated from what my heart desired, I was trying to fill up from the outside in order to reach a state of wholeness. It didn't work. True miracle and the coming of something happens because you're already being it. The real life experience, the confirmation, comes after the beingness has been established. I discovered that the most powerful manifestation of all is this: when you have the feeling of wholeness and beingness, you don't need to get or do anything in order to feel at home with yourself and your life. And from this place, you're free to create joyously without attachment to outcomes and without the fear of never getting it or losing it if it does turn up. This doesn't mean that you're never going to create. Rather, you're free to create more than you've ever been able to in your entire life. One of the most exciting things about quantum freedom healing, which is NARP, is inspiration and the ability to be more and create more just organically comes. All we need to do to create this is to keep focusing on any dense emotional energy in our body, release it, release that trauma, and bring in our higher power to replace it, which is exactly what the process of quantum freedom healing does. In my previous law of attraction life, I was forever trying to visualize and hold the vision and keep the thoughts of what I wanted in my life going. And I always had to be at it, and I would work on it often. I was forever trying to catch my thoughts and feelings if they went off track. Yet now, because I simply release trauma on any topic in my life that is not working out for me, my beingness is organically changing. I don't have to keep working on my alignment, because my alignment, as a result of releasing trauma, just is aligned. Now there is nothing to keep monitoring and trying to manage or hold. I simply become, and then it comes. That's what be come really means. You be it, then it comes. I love living free of neediness and continually putting in the effort to try to feel whole. I'm so happy I don't have to do that anymore because it's just much easier to focus on releasing trauma to just organically become whole, solid, and peaceful on the inside. So what is stopping you from having the life you really want? What is it? I hope that you can truly understand that the only thing between you and your heart's desires are your internal blocks and limiting beliefs, which are the traumas, the dense energy that's not aligned with what you want. And the great news is we now have the quantum tools to address this. My Thriver healing methods are completely focused on bypassing your logical mind and going straight into your inner identity to reach, load up, and release the traumas and opposing beliefs that have been holding you separated from the life of your dreams. And this is why I am beyond excited to invite you into my next free masterclass, so that you can learn exactly how to release your blocks and come into alignment with the life that you were born to live. The one that your soul is speaking to you about. You can do this by clicking the link at the top right of this video. Come and join me. And please also share this video with people who you know are not living their fullest potential and dearly want to. And as always, I look forward to answering your comments and your questions below. So I hope this has really helped. And until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. And I can't wait to partner with you in my next masterclass. Lots of love. Bye-bye.